Hello and welcome back to the 410. My name is Adrian, your host, and we're back on a Saturday here on the 410 with big news, of course. The Orioles got the win last night. I got to talk to you about that. We got to get into the NBA action. Big games. We had one overtime game last night. My picks, they were no good yesterday, but it's bounce back Saturday. We're going to get them back today, y'all. Before we get in any of that, K-Hill Electric going to stand by for any electrical needs, whether they're big, small. You let them know exactly what you need. They're on the way with the best service and the best price in town, y'all. All right, the Orioles, I cried all week, hoping that we could win the game. But yesterday, I had that feeling with Mr. Sunshine, Tomoyuki Sagona on the mound himself. I knew he was going to get the job done. He's the Rookie of the Year for me. Rookie of the Year candidate. If you're putting any bets, I'm trying to tell you, Tomoyuki, he's going to win that Rookie of the Year. He got a 7 in the third in his pitch, only gave up 1 run. He's the ace in our rotation right now. Everybody need to be looking up into him and watching how he's moving, because we definitely need more of that kind of action. Of course, Gunner, he's back. He got us a homer, and he definitely got us a triple and an insurance run there in the ninth. He's looking really good. Tyler O'Neill, he came back in the fold yesterday. He got a hit, so that's nothing but positive news for us. The only thing I'm hoping for, Cedric Mullins, and of course, Mr. Laureano, if we can get all of those guys in the bunch, everybody having great games. Well, I know it's not going to happen where everybody has a great game at the same time. Said them fell off a little bit. Of course, Laureano had a great game and he has a bad game. Just the consistency is what I'm looking for. If we can get that consistency, our offense is set. Of course, on the mound, if we got Tomoyuki out there, we can count on him. He's going to do his thing. And then, of course, the mountain, he came in at the end of this game and he got the save with his 7th save of the year. He got 2 strikeouts. So we got a strong back end of this thing. We just got to clear up the front end of this rotation, and we're going to be just fine here in Baltimore, of course. We got another game up today, 9:38. Now, I'm a little bit dreading the game today because, of course, Kyle Gibson, he's on the mound, and my goodness, his ERA is almost all the way up there with my niece's age. My goodness, I can't believe that this man is pitching that bad, and he's still in the starting rotation. We got to have somebody in the farm league that can come up here and pitch 14. I mean, I'll take that from a young guy, but Kyle Gibson, my goodness, you got to get it together. So today is his opportunity. Like I said, he's 14 and some change ERA-wise. We're going to bring that down today. I can feel it. It's Saturday. It's Orange Out Saturday here in Baltimore. Go Kyle Gibson, do your thing. All right, we got to get into NBA action for last night. I gave you some picks. Neither one of them were no good. My pick with Indiana plus that 5.5 was just based on the fact they were up 2-0 and they went home. It's just no way in the world I'm not taking Indiana plus the points in that scenario. Spider Mitchell, he's playing like Michael Jordan himself here. He dropped 40 again last night. He's doing what he's supposed to be doing. He's not going to lead the playoffs and say that he could have did more. Won this game 126-104. Of course, now it's a series. Next game up last night, definitely surprise for me. The Nuggets beat the Thunder here, 113-104. Of course, my pick was the OKC Thunder. I thought they were going to continue what they did the day before with that almost 43-point win that they had against Denver. Of course, they went into overtime in this game to solve this thing. It seems like every game, Denver figures out a way to win the game, and then the next game, OKC is going to figure out a way to beat them. So it definitely looks like I said earlier, a 7-game series. And this one right here, Denver's championship pedigree, they're definitely showing true to their form here throughout the playoffs where they're getting the job done here. And I'm trying to tell you, OKC being tested in a way they haven't been tested all year. Do I still think OKC is winning this series? Yes, indeed. I just think that their learning curve right now is picking up a lot faster here in the playoffs. They're learning exactly how they got to win. If they don't learn, however, the Joker, of course, he had a bad game yesterday. He had 20.16 rebounds and 6 assists, which is a bad game in his eyes. He was 0 for 10 from the 3-point line. So, of course, that man is not happy. So I expect Jokic to play a lot better next game. So Denver, my goodness, OKC going to have to bring the Thunder next game, or they might try to walk out of there with a 3-1 series lead. I'm trying to tell you. Moving on to today's games here, a big game, must-win game for Boston here against the Knicks in Madison Square Garden. That's coming up at 3:30 here. Tatum, he said it's all on him. I agree. I mean, I can't say it's all on Tatum, but definitely, man, at the end of the game, when y'all are just tailing off, somebody got to step up and say, hey, give me the ball. We're not going to let them come back from 20 and beat us. And it's got to be you, man. And if it's not you, Jaylen Brown, do what you need to do to get out of there alive, man. You might not have a season to go back to if you're not playing today. I'm trying to tell you, it's a must-win game for Boston today. I think Tatum's going to have a great game, so you're playing any player props, Definitely take Tatum in the over for his points. I know he's going to come through unless he has a bad game. I don't see why he wouldn't have 35 plus in this game. Now, whether or not New York is able to keep pace with it, that's going to be the question. Of course, Jalen Brunson, he's good for whatever. He's always down to drop 30 and some change too. So I think they'll cancel each other out. So I think this game is just going to come up to who I was just talking about. Jaylen Brown, Cat, what are they going to do? And then what's the supporting cast behind them going to do? That's pretty much the riddle with Boston here. Who else is going to perform? And I think Boston needs to look themselves in the mirror and say, hey, are we going to really sit here and die by the three like this? Or are we going to adjust? But it looks like they don't know what to do. I watched them people. The man had a mid-range shot. He turned around and passed the ball back out to the three-point line because he thought he was going to get in trouble or something. It was crazy. I've never seen anything like it there. I told you early in the season I didn't like the way the Celtics were playing with that three-point stuff there, and it's starting to bite them here in the playoffs. So hopefully they get it together today because that was my pick for the series. I definitely didn't think the Knicks were going to be able to do this after the year they had against the top teams, but it looks like the Knicks on the other end and figure things out here. They start to figure out how to win, and they already know who they got to go to at the end of the game. They get the ball to Jalen Brunson, which, by the way, Jalen Brunson was the clutch player of the year in the NBA. So they got the clutch player of the year. They at home. So I got to take New York plus these points here today in this game. New York plus the 5.5. No way I can't. Just the same thing like Indiana yesterday. No way they up 2-0 and getting points at home, and I'm not going to take it. Got to kill me with that. Next game up. Not a big game here to me because Steph isn't playing, but it is a big game. The Warriors against the Timberwolves here. Of course, the Warriors, without Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, he's definitely going to try to play here. But Minnesota, they're a different kind of animal here. You see in the game one, they were off. And Golden State, they were able to capitalize on that and win the game. But the next night here, they were clicking. And you see, it really didn't seem like Golden State had a chance. They had a chance to be competitive, it looked like, in the game, but not a chance to win. So what I'll say here in this game is I hope Golden State can make it a game. They're at home in front of the home crowd. But Minnesota, minus 5.5. I'm definitely taking Minnesota minus the 5.5 in this game. Without Steph Curry, I just don't see a way. Thank you for tuning in today. Thank you for spending some time with me today here on a Saturday on the 410. I can't wait till Tuesday that I can get down to Camden Yards and get us some answers here. Of course, it's Mother's Day weekend for all your moms. Please reach out and grab a real hard and hug a real tight for me here on the 410. Tell them, they say, Adrian told you to do what? Yeah, Adrian said, squeeze your mom as hard as you can here on Mother's Day. Because I promise you, if I could, squeezing her to death. Adrian here on the 410. If you haven't already, say hello to your family and friends. Make sure they're doing okay. Happy Mother's Day, y'all. Happy Mother's Day, Mom. Adrian here on the 410.